Figuring out composition is, I think, one of the biggest challenges we face today as artists. When you consider all the options, all the ideas, all the different theories and things that people say about what makes an image good, there's a huge variety of options out there. One of the challenges that I really faced early on, the traps that I fell into though, was thinking that I needed to create a lot of diagonal, triangular, accelerating lines of motion in order to create impact. And I was sleeping on something that I think is really important when it comes to composition, and that is often the simple use of centralized, often symmetrical compositions that seem like they're really basic, but can be really, really powerful. What I want to do in this video is talk you through my journey when it comes to understanding this. I'll share with you how I have come to use this quite a bit in my comic book covers and other illustration. As usual for a Drawing Codex video, this is going to be neither fast-paced nor heavily edited. This is just you and me. I'm going to share with you some images in Photoshop. We're going to talk illustration theory, composition theory, and hopefully by the end of this, you can maybe not fall into some of the traps that I fell into when it comes to figuring out how to make images look good. Alright, welcome to the Drawing Codex. My name is Tim McBurney. I've been a professional working artist for over 20 years, and on this channel, we're all about drawing cool stuff from our imagination, embracing the challenge of drawing, and mastering the craft of line and color illustration. Now, if you'd like to learn more about line and color illustration, the same style that I create all my comics and illustrations in, you can check out my free quick start guide. It's aimed to get you up and running quickly in Photoshop, developing your own simple, reliable line and color process. It's free. The link will be in the description. Go check it out. So there's this saying that I think is really relevant to this topic, that often the things in life that are valuable, that are really important, are going to be hard, that they are going to be challenging, that frequently, in order to achieve things that are really important and are going to be valuable, you need to put in a lot of effort, and it's going to be hard. But that doesn't mean that just because something's hard and difficult and challenging, that it is actually going to be valuable. There's a lot of really tricky things that you can do that aren't necessarily going to make that much difference. So I think it's really important here to not fall into these traps as artists and kind of say, if I can show off with my craft, if I can sort of create all this kind of fanciness, that, you know, that's necessarily going to make my art better. I kind of haven't found that, especially when it comes to creating these kind of images and things that have a lot of impact and simplicity. Often simplicity, directness can work really, really well. And I guess that's the crux of what I want to sort of talk about today with my sort of journey. And just kind of how often these sort of theories can really, you know, sort of trip us up if we're not sort of paying attention to what we're doing, because it's so easy to get sucked into that sort of ego battle of like, I need to draw better in order to make my art better. You know, I need to make things more complicated. I need to tackle more complicated perspective challenges and kind of show more depth and more foreshortening and draw more things. And I need to be able to draw the figure from a million different angles. And like, yes, that's true. Yes, that will make the art better. But also, you can learn a lot about illustration and the theories of illustration, thinking about, you know, your hierarchy of detail, your 1, 2, 3 read, thinking about all sorts of things like value relationships, edge control. There's a million things you can work on with really simple, direct, formalized images like this. So here's a couple of things that I worked on that I kind of just found from my sort of folio early on, right? This one I think is from on the left here is really, really early on. And this was me sort of playing with painting. And you can see here that, you know, if you just sort of pick something that is sort of centered and front on, you can still create a lot of illustrative intent. But I was able here to see like, okay, like where is my edge? You can see like my edge control is not really that good. You know, I've sort of got things fading off into the distance. I don't really have, you know, any of the sort of details sort of sorted out, but it's just doing these types of images that I think often did help me to just figure out like, how do I use my brushes, sort of what's going on? And I always felt when I was doing this that, hey, this is really sort of basic. But as I sort of progressed and sort of got better, so this was probably, you know, done around sort of 2001 or, you know, sort of late 90s, something like that. And you can see this is done sort of 2006 or somewhere around there. And, you know, what I was kind of finding through doing this was, you know, I would practice all this stuff and I'd get better at anatomy and I get better at this and I get better at that. But often if I kind of look back at my work over the years and I look back at all the different sort of folio pieces that I have, it was often, that these really simple images stood out to me and that they had a lot of impact and they did work, and that these are ones that also people responded to really well. And it was often doing these that I was able to relax a lot of the drawing muscles and just kind of focus on improving my line work, improving my shape design, improving the efficiency with which my process would work, coming up with interesting character designs, right? And again, imbuing them with some illustrative content. I still look back at some of these images and be like, these were some of the best ones that I did. And again, they're really simple, but there's something behind that. And if we sort of go forward, I'll sort of show you, I've got a bunch of other sort of things here. This is an example of kind of me using this same kind of idea on a Star Atlas Core comic book cover. And I guess sort of what I found is like the more I sort of came back to this really basic, simple idea, the easier it was to create images that I felt like had a lot of impact. Now, I made a previous video on this showing a couple of examples and sort of talking about this basic concept. And I was sort of showing how, a lot of the artists that I really admired, people like sort of Brom, who were creating cool fantasy illustrations, they often had these really simplified, centralized compositions. And I found that this is actually a really, really useful way to create an impactful cover. So it's not only something where, if we sort of go back and look at these, that like I was able to refine my craft just thinking about taking a character, taking a scenario, taking something and putting it smack bang in the middle of the frame and kind of more or less sort of making it somewhat symmetrical. Again, you can play around with it, right? It's not like this is totally symmetrical, but it's just a very simple idea. And I think there's so much power in that. And again, I think one of the challenges that we often would think about is like, yeah, that's cool, man. But like, you need to do real covers and real things. And often that's, again, more dynamic. And what I found is like, look, centralized, simplified, formal composition works really well, especially for things like covers, which are often what we imagine needs to have the highest level of kind of polish and compositional finesse, etc. So this is not about simplicity of the illustrative quality. It's about simplicity of the composition, if that makes sense. So we're still thinking about refining, again, the 1, 2, 3 read. People have asked me before, like, what is 1, 2, 3 read? It's just like, what's the number one thing we want to look at, right? And here it probably is, because there's a bit more contrast up here. It is this kind of robotic sort of frame up here that is sort of owned by the little, the Punab Hurricane, who's like one of the main sort of characters in Star Atlas Core. And, this is where the focus is, right? Like, bam, up here, secondary focus is probably this. But we still have a lot of the fundamental principles of composition functioning, right? We got one of these things that we found our AI likes to do really well, which is like put a circle around a character, right? Those early AI images always had that. Is like, people love it when you frame a character with a circle behind it. Really simple idea. And again, having this kind of weird overlapping kind of sort of structure behind there that has a lot of sort of rhythm and sort of movement to it. And we still are thinking about sort of overlap and depth and kind of showing depth, right? There's so many levels of overlap here. So these are the things where like, yeah, it can be simple, but you can still play with all of those other aspects of illustration and ways to think about getting people to look here, right? Like moving the eye, all that kind of stuff. So a couple more examples here. And probably this one here is also, I did this on the Drawing Codex channel sort of recently as like an art ritual thing, which is just, again, fully narrated. You could sort of see me create this. And this, again, is a good example of like, okay, there is a bit more going on here. There are some sort of diagonal leading lines. There's actually quite a lot of triangles here. But still, also what I'm sort of suggesting is like, if you just kind of pick something really simple, right? It's just like character in the middle of the frame, right? It's really basic. It can often work really well. It often is really impactful. And again, you can add a little bit of source to this as I'm sort of showing with some of these other covers, but there's not a lot of, I guess, depth or perspective or dynamism or sort of purposeful sort of showing off with the drawing, right? A lot of this is really basic. And the way I'm often practicing and creating depth is by simple overlapping shape and these sort of other compositional craft aspects that I think are really important. So here again, I'm showing a lot of depth and dynamism through the way that the sort of lily pads are sort of receding into the distance. We have a lot of sort of different overlap within the character itself. obviously she's overlapping the rock is overlapping this. So there's a lot of depth in a very like simple illustration. And this is often what I found is like if you kind of take something that could just be a character design or a character sketch, but if we sort of practice adding a little bit of illustrative intent to it, it can often raise it a huge amount. And basically means like I'm not doing that much more in terms of time or effort, but this now feels more like an illustration and less like a character sketch. Again, let me know whether you sort of agree or, you know, whether you've sort of seen other sort of interesting similar things. But I think this can often happen is often things that do seem to succeed quite well when I see like on sort of social media and stuff is often that they are really simple, you know, and you'll be like, why does that work? And it's like, because again, simple direct faces work. You know, this kind of like vertical, you know, sort of video format works really real well on TikTok and Reels, right? It's just simple, single kind of person talking to the frame. But yeah, here's some other examples of, I guess, like once you kind of master the simplicity of a centralized composition, like that is somewhat symmetrical, like how can we plus it, right? So I'm often thinking about adding sort of multiple layers of depth here, where you can see here is the Study, who is like a major sort of character, again, in Star Atlas Core. And, you know, look, this is not 100% symmetrical, right? You know, it is a little bit off, but it's still that basic idea where we kind of just have this like formalized, simplified composition. It's very direct. It's very kind of simple. And I'm often using a lot of motion with these sort of ancillary elements. And often you can create images that feel much more abstract. And that, again, you can sort of reach into really interesting ideas by just kind of keeping things simple like this, because it almost does feel as if like this is on purpose, right? The character is posed there. And this does make it somewhat abstract, and I think that allows you often to make more abstract background choices as well. That's probably the subject for a complete other video, but yeah, and here's another sort of example where, you know, the majority of the image is just this kind of centralized, get it over there, centralized picture. This is Motor from Star Atlas Core again, and we got the sort of ship in the foreground. And, you know, the story behind this illustration is like he's kind of piloting the ship and it's being sort of chased by all these sort of asteroid rocks. And, you know, we're sort of seeing his sort of distress there. So it's kind of abstract, right? This is kind of weird idea. But the way that I think it's often possible to combine a lot of different elements like that is through creating this real fake composition, right? It's kind of like you're being so on the nose about how this is obviously designed by a human, that I think it allows us to kind of, you know, do this thing where we often combine different scenes within the same image and create something that's a little bit more abstract. So there's a lot of different ways you can sort of plus this idea once you sort of really get used to it. But as you can see, you know, I'm still utilizing, even if I just have, it's a character bust, right? Like smack bang in the middle, you know, I've got sort of a planet behind it. I've got a little sort of ship in there. Again, there's some non-symmetrical elements here that make it look a little bit more fancy, but again, it's a really, really basic idea that, you know, I found to be quite useful. Another sort of example is the Pinocchio cover that I created, and I talked about this in the previous video as well, where I was just sort of outlining how important and cool I think simple centralized formal composition is. But here's an example of where, you know, I probably did, you know, I probably did at least 20 or 30 different thumbnail ideas for the Pinocchio cover. I was really intent on sort of getting it right. And, you know, what I kind of ended up with was also something that, again, has this sort of theatrical element to it. And this is where I think this concept of centralizing things can allow you to kind of get away with a lot because it feels more like this is a photo, right? It's like, hey, everyone get on the stage and pose for a photo. It seems very sort of abstract and formal. And I think that often allows us to, you know, have fun with it, to suspend that disbelief a little bit more and create something sort of really interesting. So this was one of the thumbnails I did. I think we did a couple of color alternatives. You know, should we do it warm? Should we do it cool? Right? You know, how should we work it? These are a couple of the sort of process sort of steps that I did. And this is kind of the final image there. And yeah, you can kind of see really clearly how that kind of works, right? And this is one of these covers that I've done that, you know, in terms of thinking about how challenging the composition would be to do, you know, this is a very basic image, right? It's simple to sort of conceive of, but it has a lot of impact. It really works as a cover, and it allows me to kind of, have fun, draw all the different characters and kind of get everything working. So hopefully this, again, sort of proves the point a little bit. And this is one of these sort of traps that I fell into early on where, I'd often do these images that to me felt like they were kind of working pretty well. And I did feel as if I was sort of improving, but I always shied away from them because it felt like this was easy or cheap, or I wasn't sort of showing off my foreshortening, my anatomy skills. And yeah, I think if I just lent into this a little bit more, I would have had a lot more fun, and I would have been able to learn a lot more about these sort of other illustrative elements that, you can sort of see from here. This is a very basic version of this, right? And as we sort of look at the covers that I've done here, they are a much more sophisticated version of the same thing. But that's often what makes good illustration. It's a matter of kind of taking a couple of really basic, silly ideas and just repeating them and being consistent. All the basics of overlapping shape. It's just like keep doing these really basic things with composition and imagery and illustration. And often that's where the magic happens. And it's only through sort of the repetition that you get by sort of practicing your images like this, or, just recommitting to simple basic compositions that will allow you, again, to get a lot out of them. And if you can get a lot out of a really simple composition like this, it's going to give you skills that will directly parlay into your ability to create, again, more, I guess, dynamic compositions or things that have a lot more depth, a lot more sort of dynamism to them. So I found this to be really useful. It's one of these things that I wish I lent into a lot more early on. Anyway, that's all I got time for in this particular video. Just a quick one here. I just wanted to share this idea with you because honestly, now that I've been doing YouTube for a while, and I'm often looking back at the art that I've sort of done to kind of make videos like this, and I often would just see these really simple compositions, just be like, why does that work? Why does that look good? Maybe I should just do more of that. And I have found these simple compositional ideas to be really effective, especially when you're on deadline, you're trying to create a comic book cover or something that has a lot of impact. Simple can often be really good. Another thing that'll help you when it comes to creating simple, impactful illustrations is just getting the warm and cool contrast right when it comes to your colors. So if you haven't already, check out this video, which talks all about warm and cool contrast.